Hey everybody, this is the Microwave Files. Sunday, got some big football games on for you today. Let's get into it. First, got the Arizona Cardinals going up against the San Francisco 49ers. You guys know the whole situation with Kaepernick, how he got benched, and now they put in Blaine Gabbert. In some ways, it works for their offense just because they have a lot of running plays. They like to run the ball a lot, kind of pound you into the ground, but it's definitely a different offense. I think they have a shot to win this game, especially because they're playing at home. But just because their defense usually doesn't break, but the problem is they're not going to be able to put up enough points to keep up with Carson Palmer and that Cardinals offense. Larry Fitzgerald and those boys are going after like smoke. I just see the Cardinals putting up at least 30, 32 points in this game. Probably go to score 30-17 Cardinals. Next game we got the Giants at the Redskins. I like the Giants' chances in this game because they've been red hot on offense, but their defense is definitely questionable. Redskins bring some things to the table. Kirk Cousins, he's a respectable quarterback in the league right now, and definitely do some work, definitely do some damage. I think it's going to be close because it's an NFC East game. It's usually either close or it's a blowout. I don't see a blowout, so I see 28-24 Giants. I think they pull away at the end. A couple plays from Eli and Odell Beckham. And let's see what happens. Minnesota Vikings at the Atlanta Falcons. It's a tough one. It's a tough game to pick. It's just really two good teams going at it. Obviously the Vikings have Adrian Peterson, but the Falcons, their defense is a little gritty. I like the way they've been playing. Showing a little bit of grit, a little bit of determination, especially under a new coordinator, new defensive system. I think it's going to be interesting with Matty Ice at the helm for Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to have to go with the Vikings in this one. Thought about it. I don't think they can stop AP completely. I think AP's still going to have a big game, about 90 to 100 yards. But key is definitely the Vikings defense, and they can cause some problems, even though Julio Jones is definitely going to win his matchups. I think the rest of the offense, if you limit them, Julio Jones can't get it done by himself. So I think ultimately Vikings win this game. Going with a score of 31-28. I think they're going to win right at the end. Next game. Got the St. Louis Rams going up against Cincinnati Bengals. I told y'all in the beginning of the season that Cincinnati was going to be a disappointment to me. They disappoint you when you most expect it. It's like the opposite of when you least expect it. Just because every time they play in a big game and they play against an opponent that they're supposed to beat, they always struggle, and it doesn't make sense. I think the Rams they have a good defense. Don't get me wrong, and Todd Gurley's definitely making noise, but the Bengals as a team are more complete right now, and they're playing at home. Even though they've had some letdowns, and I just went through that whole spiel, I still think the Bengals are going to win just because I think it's not a huge game. It's a 1 o'clock, 4:15 in the afternoon game. It's not really prime time. I think they get the job done. They know what's at stake. They know they have a chance to get home field advantage if they win out, and it should be interesting. But I think the Bengals take this one, 34-28. Then we got the Saints going up against the Houston Texans. Saints have been mediocre all season, so have the Texans. But I would pick the Saints in this one just because I have faith in Drew Brees. And, their defense has good individual players. I think they'll get a couple sacks today. I think they'll cause a little pressure for the quarterback, make him tap dance a little bit. I think they ultimately get the win, even though Texans defense is pretty good with J.J. Watt, but it's still not really something that I don't think it's something that they can't overcome. I still think Drew Brees is definitely the quarterback that he used to be. It's just that he doesn't have the requisite weapons around him that he used to. But I still see them winning this game. It's going to be a close one. I think it's going to be a little tight, lower scoring than people think. Going with a score of 24-20. Next game, Buccaneers at the Colts. Indy's been up and down all season. They got Matt Hasselbeck in right now. I'm tempted to pick the Colts just because they usually dominate this division, but I gotta go with Jameis Winston after the way he torched the Eagles last week. 5 touchdowns, 5 different receivers. Come on, bro. You serious? You lit them up. We're gonna do the same thing today. I don't see five. I mean, maybe not five touchdowns. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I definitely see a significant improvement. 2 or 3 touchdowns at least. I'm going with the final score: 31 Buccaneers, 20 Colts. Next game, we got the Dolphins at the New York Jets. Usually the Jets dominate these games. I mean, Dolphins have had their fair share of wins against, Tom Brady once in a while, Jets once in a while, but for the most part, the Jets have dominated, and that defense is lethal. Even though they've been up and down the last couple weeks, they're still respectable. Still not even respectable. They're a top 10 defense. I mean, let's keep it real. They definitely have some weapons. Uh, Definitely have Eric Decker and Brandon Marshall. Now I know some people are looking at that and they're like, they haven't really done that much. Yeah, but you usually don't see single coverage a lot on Brandon Marshall. Even these days, he still always has somebody looking at him because they know what he can do. Definitely see them win this game. See the final score. I don't know. Thinking a score along the line of Dolphins 24. Jets are gonna win. I think they'll put up some points today. I think the Dolphins 24. I think their defense gonna make a couple plays on the Dolphins side. And then the Jets 35-24. San Diego, Jacksonville. That's the easy one, man. I'm telling you, this is gonna shock people, but the Jaguars, in some ways, have been playing better than the San Diego Chargers. The Chargers, even though they've been, I'm sorry, I don't know that probably offended some people, but they've been in every single game, and yet they haven't produced. I don't understand. They've been in every single game, they haven't produced. They lose every single time they're in a close game. Why? Because their defense is demolished. Their offense is mediocre at best. And even though Philip Rivers is putting up numbers, their numbers are really meaningless because they're not resulting in touchdowns. If you can't get touchdowns, you can't win. And that's going to be the case today. I think Jaguars take it in a tight battle, but going with 21-17 Jaguars. Oakland Raiders going up against Tennessee Titans. I mean, the Raiders definitely had their chances, just because they've got Amari Cooper offensively. Then obviously on defense they've got a couple products from different places. Malcolm Smith from Seattle. They've definitely got some players. Charles Woodson. I'm leaning towards the Titans in this one just because I think Marcus Mariota can light up that defense from time to time. Even though they've been respectable this year, I think they have their capability. They're able to be exposed a little bit. I think Mariota's going to take advantage of that today. See them winning this game. I don't think they're going to get scored on a lot though. I think this game is going to be a low scoring again. 24-14. Tennessee Titans. Next game, we got the Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs. I think Kansas City surprised a lot of people. Jamal Charles went out. They're like, they're done. It's over. Really? Last time I checked, they won the last 2 out of the 3 games against division opponents who usually dominate them every year. Peyton Manning or no Peyton Manning, they destroyed Broncos. And they're the reason that Peyton Manning got pulled. Destroyed him. Healthy or not, destroyed him. I think they're going to do the same thing to the Bills. I think they keep the win streak going. I think Kansas City Chiefs, they found something that works for them. They've always had a respectable defense. Their defense, don't forget, they have Justin Houston, who was the sack leader last year. He definitely brings down the house. And they got a couple other guys on that defensive line that can really cause some havoc for that offensive line. And that plays a key matchup. You win in the trenches, you have a very good chance. Kansas City winning this one. 27-21. Steelers at Seahawks. Another good game. I'm excited to see Antonio Brown, if they put him on and go up against Richard Sherman. That's going to be a key matchup. I think Antonio Brown might best him a couple times. I mean, he's got the speed, he's got the quickness, and his catching ability is amazing. Richard Sherman, you know what he brings to the table. He's long, he's athletic, he's able to cover pretty much anybody I've seen. And quarterback's scared to throw at him, but this is Antonio Brown and Ben Roethlisberger. He's not scared of nobody, so it's gonna be tough. But Seahawks, I think, will take this one. I just think Le'Veon Bell being out, no disrespect to their other running backs, but you can't really replace Le'Veon Bell. I think that if that was the case, if he was still playing, I might choose otherwise. But especially Seattle being at home, I think obviously offensively they need to get it going. But they still have a Jimmy Graham. They still have a Thomas Rawls, who is definitely look like a promising candidate. And I mean, really, when you think about it, they have a guy that we haven't even talked about that much, who is Doug Baldwin, who always seems to find ways to get open and make big plays. So I definitely trust their offense enough to get the job done. I just think it's going to be a tough uphill battle because you're going up against Big Ben. But I'm going with the final score of Seahawks 28 and Big Ben 20. Patriots at the Broncos. Well, I did just talk about how Peyton Manning got torched and now he's out. Uh, I mean, I just don't see how the Broncos going to win. I know their defense is great. I know they have a great defense. They're number one in the league. But I'm sorry, New England, they're a different animal. I understand Edelman's out, Amendola's out. I think we learned it doesn't matter because it's Tom Brady, and I think Tom Brady is going to do what he needs to do to get the job done. And I see them putting up points in this game, with or without them. I think Tom Brady still puts up 33 points today. I think the Broncos make it respectable, make it interesting. I think they put up 21, but I'm going with the Patriots 33-21 today. Might shock people, 33-21, that's a lot. It is. And that's what's going to happen. Final game, guys. Baltimore Ravens at Cleveland Browns tomorrow for the Monday night game. Uh, now, I'll say this. The Ravens have lost a lot of players, but they always seem to shock people because of their grit and determination. And when you play the Ravens, you know you're getting a fight. They're the type of team that's not going to go down without a fight. So I think that's going to be enough to win. Crazy as it is, believe it or not, even though you're like, oh, but Joe Flacco's out, Justin Forsett is out, I understand that. But they still have John Harbaugh as their coach. And as long as that's in place, I don't see them losing. Not to this Browns team. Final score 19-16. Alright, that's the videos for today. You know what this is, man. It's the Microwave Files. Definitely check out some of the videos, see what's going on. And I'll be back with a couple updates later this week. Enjoy the games.